Tommy Reynolds has his gun out. He's pointing the gun, and all of a sudden, I see this woman.
They say it's on every single station. They're saying that Daddy died.
He said there was an accident and your father is no longer with us.
In real life, I'm not like that.
And the Mario test was disgusting.
One night I jumped out of a car doing 60 miles an hour because I was addicted.
Salute, Mob Tube. Salute, Mob Tube. How's everybody doing tonight? I got a special guest tonight. I'll be doing an interview with him. You guys saw the thumbnail already, and you heard me talk about it a little bit before. It's Bobby Borriello Jr. He is an actor who's been in many films and TV shows, such as Private Parts, The Sopranos, Enemy of the State, The Tracy Morgan Show, and many more. He's also the son of the late Bobby Borriello, as many of you know, and I've really been looking forward to this interview. So let me welcome Bobby Borriello Jr. How you doing,
Hello.
Bob?
How's it going?
Good.
How are you?
Good. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
Yep. So my audience is pretty familiar with who you are already, obviously. I've talked about you in the past. I interviewed your brother Patrick.
Yep.
Did you see that interview?
Yeah, I saw that interview. Yep.
Yeah, Patrick's a great guy.
Yeah, oh, the best.
Yeah, and he's helped me out.
That's the reason why I got started.
Yeah. Well, he helped me out with a couple other interviews too, and obviously he made this happen. So I really appreciate that from your brother, and it goes to show, what
Pat?
kind of guy he is. Say that again.
Well, thank you, Pat.
Yeah. Thank you, Patrick. Yeah. So all right, if you want to get started, if you could tell us a little bit about your childhood. Obviously, for a lot of people that know your story, your brother's story, you lost your father when you were very young.
2 years old.
Yeah, 2 years old. Now you were in the house when that happened, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
I don't really remember much from the night, but I was there.
Yeah. Can you tell us a little bit about your childhood, what it was like? I know it had to be tough growing up without your father. Any of the, anything you remember from, your earliest age, and what life was like for you after such an obviously tragic event.
Well, for years, thankfully I had my brother. I had my grandfather that really stepped up for me. My uncle John stepped up for me. He's also my godfather. Thankfully, I had people like that in my life that made it a lot easier. But obviously, I didn't know what had happened to my father. I just knew that he had passed away. I thought it was of health reasons when I was younger, because obviously you don't want to tell your son that, because at that age I'm not going to understand. So I understand that. But like I said, thankfully I had those men in my life that stepped up and taught me how to be a man. But obviously it wasn't easy growing up without my father. But I always knew that he was something bigger than normal. I always knew that.
Yeah, I'm curious about the kind of stories you were told as you were growing up. What age were you when you found out what did happen to him?
I want to say probably 16, 15,
Wow.
around there. When I got old enough to start asking questions.
Yeah.
Because I started learning more about him and started, wondering myself what was going on.
Yeah. Yeah, it's understandable. Did you find out? Did you ask? Was it your mom or your brother that you asked, or did you hear stories?
It was my mother. My mother finally sat me down and had the conversation with me and told me, you know.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
And that had to be incredibly tough, right?
No, of course.
Yeah, yeah,
But it had to, she knew at some point it had to be done. So,
yeah. Yeah, I can't imagine what it was like for her to have to explain that to you.
yeah, not easy.
No. Now I talked to Patrick about your father. He was obviously a little older. I believe he was 12 when that happened. So, one of the questions I had is, being so much older than you, what role did Patrick play in your life? Was he like a father figure to you?
Yeah, absolutely.
I would assume that he helped raise you, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
He taught me how to be a man.
Yeah, that's a hell of an older brother, huh?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I'm lucky to have him.
I'm sorry.
I'm lucky to have him.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Um, so as you were getting older, I'm going to go back to your. Obviously, I want to talk about your acting career, but
All right.
I want to talk about some of these things first, just so we're not scattered. What did what kept you from? Because you still lived in Brooklyn, right? After
Yeah.
you found out about your father and all that, what kept you, or did you at some point get involved in the street life?
Me? No.
Not at
No.
all.
Nope. I started acting when I was 6, 7 years old. So I never had time for the street life. I was going to school, auditions. Then I got to high school. I was playing baseball. I was, thank God.
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm sure. I guess that would help you stay on track. I mean, if you start acting at such a young age, then you would kind of have the idea of what the right thing to do is.
Yeah. That's part of the reason why I stopped. Because once I started, like I said, I got my first big role on my first audition. It kind of snowballed really fast after that, and it never stopped for years and years and years. And that was constant. When I wasn't in school, I was working somewhere, and after school, I would go on 2, 3 auditions. Sometimes it was a lot. I never had time for any of that stuff.
Yeah, it's understandable. Now, were any of the men, that you mentioned, that helped to raise you and that were there for you? Were these people that were in that life, or were any of them, if you want to say?
Uh, no, not in that life. No.
Okay. All right. So your first role,
I was too young. By the time I got older, it was more my brother and my grandfather.
yeah,
They
yeah,
were oh,
yeah, because you were born in 90, correct?
89.
Oh, 89. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, yeah, that makes sense then. Um, so your first role, I believe, was Two Bits, right? In 95?
I was an extra in 2 Bits. Yeah, that was a movie my brother was doing, and that's how he got me started. We were filming that down in Philadelphia, and me and my mother went to go visit him. And I was hanging around the set, and they said, they were doing a scene where a bunch of kids were playing around in a fire hydrant, and they said, "Do you want him to be in the scene?" My mom said, "Yeah." So they threw me in the scene. They were giving me directions, telling me what to do, and other kids, like you've seen them just running around. They were trying to corral them, and me, I'm paying attention. I'm trying to do it. I wanted to do it, and my brother's agent was like, you should start sending him on roles, or his manager, somebody that was with him, said you should start sending him on auditions. He looks like, my mother thought I was too young. I went for private parts right after that, after we got home, and I got the part. So that was it.
That's amazing. And we talked a little bit before the show, but like I said, I was always kind of a Howard Stern super fan. So, that's to me, of course, I wonder what it was like. You met him and worked with him, right?
Yeah, he's awesome. Yeah, he had me on the show. He was great. Howard was unbelievable. Like at that time, I didn't know much about him because obviously at 6 or 7 years
Yeah.
old, you're not watching much Howard Stern. But afterwards, but he was really nice, super nice. Nothing like, you see on the show, like around me and my mother, it was like a completely different person. He's
Well, that's what
really,
yeah, I always heard that he had another side to him like that.
oh,
That
forget
his
it. No idea. It's a completely different person. He's
yeah,
a
yeah.
great guy.
That's good. That's good for people to hear because you never know. Some people thought that was an act he was putting on the show, or some people think he's really like that. But
No, he's awesome. He's awesome. That premiere, being one of my first movies, that premiere was at Madison Square Garden, like red carpet all the way around the garden. There was people screaming my name from the bleachers. It was insane, insane. That was a great first experience.
wow, I can't imagine what that would be like as a kid. What would
Oh my gosh, through the whole premiere. We were sitting in the theater every 5 minutes. She was holding my face.
I bet. I bet. When I watch that movie, I think I should be covering my own eyes sometime.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, what was it like to at such a young age to be on a set, or did you not really understand what the significance of it was, or
I think being that I started so young, it never was uncomfortable for me. I was around such big people, like from the start. Like I did movies with Will Smith. I did movies with, I can't even think, Diane Lane, Liev Schreiber, Viggo Mortensen. These were all people I started with in the beginning, and it never really, like, I would be around these people and not even ask for an autograph, or like it would never. I got used to it really quick, I guess, or like I was naive to where I was and to the point where I was just comfortable. Directors and everything loved me as a kid because usually kids are hard to deal with on the set. Me, I was very professional.
yeah, and like you said earlier, you even before your own acting career, you had been on sets with your brother, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So
Even
you
as a
were
baby.
already
Yeah.
yeah, so you were already used to the environment to some extent.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Now, I don't want to cut anything out between Two Bits and Private Parts, but Enemy of the State was before Private Parts, right? 98, I believe.
No. Enemy of the State was after Private Parts.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah,
All right, so
Enemy of the State, I believe, was 98, 99. Enemy of the State was definitely after Private Parts. Private Parts was
oh,
my first movie. I was little. I'm not
yeah,
good
yeah,
with
yeah.
years, not good with years, but it was definitely my first. It was.
I watched some of your scenes before we
Mhm.
did the show a couple hours ago from Private Parts and from The Sopranos, and I was like, wow, he was good. He was really good.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to put up some pictures of you just so people might recognize you from some things. If you want to tell us what's going on in these scenes
Yeah.
here,
Yeah.
here's the first one.
That's from The Sopranos. That's when
Yeah.
I find out my father is actually in the mob. I find him beating some guy up, him and Junior. I follow them. I miss the bus, and I see them go and beat this guy up, and find out what the hell is my dad doing.
All
Yep,
right. Here's another one, I believe, from the same thing.
That's when I realized I have missed the bus.
Oh, wow. That's another one. I want to talk to you about working on that show as well. And this one here, I think, is just this looks like a red carpet photo.
Yes, that is, I believe, from either A Walk on the Moon, or that might be the Private Parts premiere. I don't know. I'm not positive.
Okay. It's so funny. You look, if you could put your head so we could see you, you look, you look the same. It's, you look that you're the same guy, just with facial hair. You didn't age at all.
Nope. They told me I would grow into these front teeth, but I didn't.
All right. And this one?
That's Grounded for Life. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's what I'm
Yeah, we'll
attempting
get to.
to get girls.
Oh, all right. Yeah, I want to get to those roles too, but I just wanted to show the pictures so people in case they can't picture you as a kid in those movies.
Yeah. Wow, since I've seen them.
Yeah, yeah. Um, what is it like now looking back on yourself in these things and seeing yourself as a kid? Like, does it bring back a lot of memories, or is it?
It's great, and my friends love it. People see me and stuff. I get calls and texts all the time, like, "Yo, you're on TV." So it's great.
That's funny. All right. So after Private Parts, what came after that? I don't want to mess up my order of your filmography here.
Let's see if I don't mess up the order of the filmography. I believe it was A Walk on the Moon.
Okay, A Walk on the Moon.
Which was
And
it was directed by Tony Goldwyn, and it was with Anna Paquin, Diane Lane, Liev Schreiber, Viggo Mortensen, Tova Feldshuh, a lot of great actors and actresses.
yeah, and you played Daniel in that, right?
Yeah, I play Liev and Diane Lane's son. Liev
Oh,
Schreiber
okay.
and Diane Lane's son. Yeah.
So was that was it a little easier for you, or were you already so comfortable with it that
Yeah,
that
like
it
I said, it never even. I used to memorize scripts young right away and be going through like even people have been acting for years are sitting there with sides in their hand and stuff. But it just came very easy to me. I guess it just came naturally.
that's good. That's very good. So um, after that, the order I have it in after Private Parts would be, is it Enemy of the State and after A Walk on the Moon?
Wait, after Private Parts?
No, no, no. Well, A Walk on the Moon was after Private Parts, right?
Yeah, A Walk on the Moon was after Private Parts, and then Enemy of the State, I believe.
Oh,
If
Enemy of the State after that. Yeah.
maybe if the two are close and they're slightly, and then maybe, but I'm almost positive it was A Walk on the Moon, then Enemy of the State.
Yeah, it's tough with your filmography because you had a lot of stuff going on in 98,
I also
99.
remember A Walk on the Moon didn't come out for a while after we filmed it, so I don't know if maybe that's why.
Oh, probably. Probably. Okay. So Enemy of the State. That was a huge movie, obviously.
Yep.
Always will be, I'm sure. What
Uh-huh.
was your role in that? You played
I played
uh
Will Smith's son's friend, Dylan. I'm the one that takes we steal the Christmas present that has the murder tape in it, and we don't even know it.
oh
But
really? Yeah,
yeah,
it's been so long since I've seen that movie. I don't remember all of it, but
great movie, great movie. And at the time we filmed that, Men in Black just came out, so I was psyched to meet Will Smith, and
I
he's
bet. What kind
another amazing, amazing guy. So down to earth, amazing.
Yeah, he's another one that I always heard that about. There's not too much negative that you hear about Will Smith.
There was one day we were filming in Washington D.C. and it was cold outside, and he was trying to stay warm, like bouncing around, and I was not nearly as big as I am right now, so he picked me up and he started using me as like a weight, like to stay warm.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he started using me like a weight to keep the blood flowing. I don't know if he'd be able to do that now.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, you're that's a what a memory to have, huh? Will Smith bench pressing you or curling you. I'm sorry, curling you.
No, it was
That's
I'm pretty
crazy.
good with the bench press. It was like you know, lifting me up and
Oh,
just
okay,
holding me
yeah.
up. Yep.
Wow. Um, U.S. Army combat medic wants to know what the picture is on your pendant. Now we talked
My
about that before the show.
yes, this is my father. There you go.
Yeah, I love that. That's nice.
Thank you. My wife got it for me. Thank you, baby.
So you keep them with you all the time.
All the time. I never take it off.
I'm sorry, by the way, if I forgot to mention in the beginning. I'm sorry that that happened to you, obviously, and you know
Thank you. Thank
that things turned out the way they did. But
you. Very part of that life.
I'm sorry.
a very ugly part of that life.
Well, we talk about this on the show sometimes, and some of the guys that have shows on YouTube that were involved say the same thing, that there's no happy ending to that life. It destroys families.
Mhm.
It does.
Absolutely. Changed
Like I
us.
said, yeah, well, I'm sure, and Patrick spoke about that a little bit, but yeah, like I said, I'm sorry you had to go through something like that. Um, it's got to be tough. So, all right, so after that, if I have it in the right order, Love Thy Brother.
Love Thy Brother. Wow, that was a short film filmed by Ralph Macchio. He
Oh,
directed.
really?
Yeah, it was
The
supposedly
Karate
about an
Kid.
experience that he had in his life. It was like him and his friend or his brother at home, and they got robbed. It was like a 20-minute movie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, some of the things on your IMDb I wasn't familiar with, and it's hard to find all of them to watch them. But I think I skipped one here, and I certainly don't want to, because one of the things you're well known for is you play young versions of famous people.
Yes, I do.
That's kind
Well,
of yeah, yeah, and you played in A Man on the Moon also as little Andy Kaufman, right?
yes, sir.
So that's another one. Now that looked like it was in around the same time as Private Parts.
Yeah, it wasn't too long after.
And how about that one? What was that one like?
Around the same time as a Walk on the Moon, because it was tough telling people about the two movies all the time. They were like, "Oh, you're in a lot of Moon movies."
Yeah,
Yep,
yeah,
Walk on the
yeah.
Moon, Man on
Walk on the Moon.
Man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
the
But
sequel.
that's another legendary role, really, because of who Andy Kaufman was, and the fact that you played the younger version of him. I mean, these are things that you know talk about being immortalized. You'll be known forever. These movies are timeless.
I actually seen recently. There's actually like a documentary that Jim Carrey did about something about how that role changed him as like his whole life or something like that. I didn't see it though. I gotta watch that.
Yeah, yeah. I think I might have actually seen him say that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Um, I'm sure it did, though. It was a huge role for him.
absolutely. And they said he completely. Well, they said he completely turned into Andy Kaufman in that movie.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. I got a question here.
Yeah.
Patrick B wants to know how it was growing up with such a good-looking brother.
It was tough.
That's from Patrick B, guys.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. So
I
let's
knew
see. Yeah, yeah. Let's see. So what was your first you did Grounded for Life in 03, correct? You played Bobby?
Yeah. The kid kept
Was
my name.
Yeah, was that your first TV role?
No. What had happened was I had filmed a pilot. I went out to LA for like a final audition and I ended up getting the part for a pilot. We filmed the pilot. They had high expectations for the pilot. They had high expectations for me, but just like a lot of things in that business, it ended up not getting picked up, and we didn't end up filming the pilot. But the production company wanted to keep me on, so I did a few shows for them after that. I did Grounded for Life. I
And
did the Tracy Morgan Show.
you did the what? I'm sorry, I didn't catch the last one.
Grounded for Life, and then I did the Tracy Morgan Show after that.
Yeah, I have that down here as well. And you were actually in several seasons of the Tracy Morgan Show, right?
Yeah, I did 2 different episodes.
So, what was the transition like, since you hadn't worked on television before that, right?
No, no, TV was new to me after, but TV was fun. Doing the first live studio, which was the pilot, that was like a whole new thing, and it was like almost like being at like a sporting event, like you're an athlete, like like you got the crowd, there's someone in there hyping it up, there's people introducing you. It was a whole different experience, and I loved it. I loved it. I didn't know at that time that's how it went down. I knew they had people in there laughing, but you don't realize that how much of a great time it is to go watch one of these shows get filmed.
I heard the sets on these shows are amazing with the food and everything else.
Yeah, no, it's
I always
great.
heard that. Now, did that make you want to do more TV, or were you
Yeah,
happy doing the movies?
yeah. Well, at that time, being the amount of auditions that I used to go on and stuff every day, just to be working, you're happy. So whether it's TV, film, whatever it is, I liked doing TV a lot. I liked doing the comedy. That was fun always. So I enjoyed TV. It was good.
Yeah. Well, I have to backtrack a little bit because we obviously have to talk about The Sopranos a little bit more.
Yeah.
So how did you land that role exactly?
Auditioned. My agent used to call me the callback king. I used to get callbacks. That was another one. I got a couple of callbacks for it, and finally they called me, and I got the role.
That's good. That's obviously you were doing something right. So, and you auditioned for that specific part, right? For young Tony Soprano.
Mm-hmm.
Now you were a little older then, right? What year was that you started?
The Sopranos, I had to be 12, 13 years old, I think.
Yeah, so that was I'm sure you knew a little bit more about the significance of some of these projects you were involved in then, right?
Yeah, well, when I did The Sopranos, like when I first filmed it, the show wasn't even, we did the first season. So it wasn't The Sopranos yet. It was just some new show.
So you had no idea it was.
No, that's why that's probably why I became such a big fan of the show too, because I was in the first season, and then later on when they were doing another flashback, and my agent had called and said that they were going with an older kid because it was whatever situation, it was upsetting, but whatever, it's life.
Yeah. But you had no idea it was going to turn into such a big deal, right? I mean, that was nobody did.
Nope.
Yeah. And like I said, that's another role that'll live on forever.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's so impressive about your acting career is the importance of the roles you played. So, looking back on that cast now, what kind of memories do you have of the people you worked with on that show?
James Gandolfini, I met once. He was a great guy. I didn't really film with any of the main characters of the show because I was in a flashback. But I remember going to Silver Cup Studios to actually meet with, I think, get my wardrobe fitted and everything. And they were like, James wants to meet you. Say hello. And I went down to where they were filming, and he said hello to me and my mother. He was great and very nice. Other people from the show, I know Vincent Pastore. I see him all the time. I used to see him all the time. All great guys. I mean, I also see. I'm forgetting his name now. It's getting me upset. I always see him at 101. I used to see him at 101 in Bay Ridge all the time.
Who did he play?
I can't even think of the name right now. The big guy. Oh man.
Vito Spatafore?
Yeah, there you go.
Joseph Canascoli, right? Joseph Canascoli.
Yep. I used to go to that restaurant in Bay Ridge with my mother and stuff like that. And I used to sit outside and bullshit with him all the time.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But as far as
I heard he's a good guy too.
I didn't work with any of the main guys. I mean, when we were filming that scene that you see the picture of took us so long to get him beating that guy up because the flower pots that they were breaking over his head were made of sugar, and they kept breaking in their hands when they would go to pick
Oh
it up.
wow. Yeah, it's interesting to know how they do those things, huh?
Yeah.
No wonder. Made
The
of
glass.
sugar. I never would have imagined.
Mhm.
Do you stay in contact, other than the people you mentioned? Do you stay in contact with anybody from The Sopranos, or do you talk to anybody still that was part of that cast?
No. My brother still talks with Vincent Pastore, you know.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I would love to get an interview with him. And it's funny, I actually reached out to Joseph Ganascoli for an interview, and he basically said he isn't doing anything right now. Yeah, so he turned me down flat.
You just go walk around Bay Ridge, you might see him.
There you go. Yeah, yeah. That's where my grandmother's from. I used to be in Bay Ridge all the time.
I'm not
Uh
far.
so what was after you know, we got Grounded for Life, the Tracy Morgan show. Is there anything I left out? Man on the Moon, Walk on the Moon. Oh, the Taking of Pelham 123. We didn't mention that. That was one
Right.
of your earlier movies.
Yeah, that was it was a made for TV, like it was like the ABC movie of the week back then when they used to do the ABC movie of the week. It was wow, I even forgot about this. That had Vincent D'Onofrio, Edward James Olmos, Donnie Wahlberg. Yeah, that was.
Another
I would like, now that you even talk about that, I gotta get that movie because I like that movie. I gotta find that.
that's funny. I'm sure they got it on Amazon Prime or something.
Filming that movie was actually one of the hardest movies we had to film because we were filming in the subway and we couldn't film in New York. The subway's too busy. Can't film on the subway. So they flew us all out to Toronto, where at the time a lot of parts of the metro system were new. There were parts that were barely used. So there was one that we would be able to use, but we would have to use it only at night. So we would work every night from 11 till like 6 in the morning, and maybe even later than that in the morning. And we would barely see daylight. I was getting homesick in Toronto, going crazy, to where like the director, I remember he brought me a Super Nintendo to keep me busy in the room. It was Felix Alcala. We were going crazy filming that movie because we were constantly in a subway tunnel, and then you would like never see daylight. You would be sleeping during the daytime.
It's funny though. It sounds like you were getting star treatment at such a young age.
I think they kind of they felt bad for me at that point. I was
Yeah,
young.
yeah.
I just wanted to go home. I didn't know what was going on.
Yeah, no, I bet. Well, I mean, just working at that age in general, because that
Yeah,
was, I mean, I'm sure you enjoyed it to an extent, but at that age, it's a job. You develop a work ethic, right?
and that's kind of why I ended up stopping at that point. I got to an age where I wanted to be more of a kid, more of a teenager at the time, and made stupid decisions like at that. And this business never slow down. You're on a good roll. You're doing things. You never want to step back and let people forget about you because they will. And that's you live and you learn.
So, what age were you when you stopped acting?
Probably like 17, 17, 18 years
17.
old. Yep.
And when was the next? Was there a time when you auditioned for something else or tried to break back into it?
Yep.
Oh, really? You just gave it up at that point?
Yep. Then I ended up years later starting to work. It never, you know,
Do you miss
there was
it?
there was one time I tried to get in contact with agents and managers, and it was that when I realized that I was out of it a little too long, and it wasn't going to happen like that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's I mean, do you miss it? Do you kind of wish you would have stuck with it?
Sometimes, yeah. I definitely wish I would have stuck with it. Absolutely.
At this
Because just
point,
not because of like I don't like my life now. More of because of what I had going. I took for granted. Like at that age, I didn't know what I was doing. You know,
yeah.
looking back on it now, but
Yeah, do you think you're done for good, or do you think that one day maybe you'll
you never know. Never done
yeah,
for
yeah.
good.
No, absolutely. No, no. I don't know. If I was you, I would still be I'd be auditioning every chance I got.
Yeah, well, I got the wife and the baby now. It's a little hard to just
Yeah.
drop things and go, but the right moment presents itself. Never done.
Yeah, see, that's the thing about I'm sure that's what you deal with is, you'd love to be focusing on just that, but you have other things going on in your life and
Moment in time, I can't, but if I ever could, you know,
yeah, yeah. So, where did you go from there as far as, what new path did you take once you stopped acting?
the the regular working man's path. Sonny was right. I went right
Oh,
to
really?
work. Yeah,
Well,
didn't really
Sonny is
bother me
definitely right, but
so much at a young age. Like you said, I was almost like a pampered star for such a long period of time that it was like I almost wanted to be normal. I wanted to have a normal job and do normal things and be with my normal friends and stuff.
and then after a few years of that, you were probably like, "The hell with this! I want to be a star
What
again."
am I doing?
I got a comment here from Patrick B. He says, "Don't worry, his brother is going to make him a big star again."
I hope
A big
so.
brother. Yeah. So, as far as your personal life, then, did you? You said you started working. Did you? Obviously, are you married now?
Yep, I'm married. I have a beautiful wife, a beautiful daughter. Hi, Stacy. Hi, Talia.
How old is your daughter?
2.
That's a good age. Yeah.
Yep.
You can get her into acting.
Yeah. Well, we'll see.
Yeah. Why
Very
not?
smart. Already, she's
Yeah.
very smart.
Yeah. Do you plan on having more kids?
Yeah. Yeah, I want to have another one.
That's good. And you're what? You're 30
32.
years, 32. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hmm.
and I think me and your brother are the same age. Patrick's 42, right?
Yeah. Yeah. We're 10 years, 9 years, 10 months apart to be exact.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, so other than that, I'm not sure what you do for a living now, or if you want to talk about
Do
that.
construction.
I'm sorry.
I do construction.
Oh, you do construction. All right, that's good. Um,
Yep.
so plans for the future? Are you just gonna keep working and maybe one day try to break back into the acting thing, or you're just taking it day by day?
That's the ultimate plan. But right now, yeah, taking it day by day.
That's good. That's what most of us do.
Yep. That's it. That's all you can do right now, especially
Yeah,
who knows
it's
what tomorrow is going to bring at this point.
yeah, it's the only way through to get through life. Um, Going back a little bit, when you see your brother get certain roles and stuff, you ever get a little jealous or
No,
uh
no, no,
well, I don't
no,
mean jealous in an angry way. I just mean like, damn, I would have loved to play that role.
no, because he's so good. He does it so well. You know,
It's funny because you had a little dynasty over there. The Borriello brothers were killing it, huh?
my brother got the ball rolling, and that was it. We just kept it going.
That's great. Your mom
Mhm.
must have been very proud. Your whole family must have been extremely proud.
Oh yeah, she loved it.
Yeah, yeah. When you went to family events, they should have had a red carpet for you and your brother outside of
The
outside of the event.
red carpet was like my mother. Don't worry, she would make sure everybody knew about everything we were in and everything we did.
Yeah, yeah. Did she do you still at any times I'm sure you spent a lot of time with Patrick, right?
Yeah.
Do you ever go to any of the sets or anything with him when he's doing any of his projects?
Yep.
That's good.
Yeah, I was on the Gotti set, the Gravesend set. I've been there. Mhm.
That's good. So eventually maybe the same thing will happen as when you were a kid. Somebody will say, "You know what? We want
You,
him."
you never
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. So, is there anything I missed that you want to talk about or want to cover? Anything from your career, your childhood, anything?
We got it. You told me things I forgot about. Movies I forgot I was in that I filmed for months of my life.
That's when you know you had a good career is when people have to remind you of movies you were in.
Yeah, I guess so. Thank God.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very impressive.
Thank you very much.
It seems like you've had a good life and still do.
I'm blessed. Thank God. There's a lot of things I've done in my life at a young age that people won't do ever. So I'm very thankful.
Yeah, I'll say you and your brother both.
Yeah,
Both two good guys as far as I'm concerned.
thank you, bro.
Yep. So, you want to give any shout outs or anything? I'll let you go here in a minute.
Yeah, once again, want to say shout out to my brother. Thank you very much, Patrick. His wife, Christina. Stacy, Talia, my mother. Love you.
Yeah, and I also want to shout out your brother because, like I said in the beginning, there was a couple of these interviews that he helped me out with that he made happen. Really, Joseph D'Onofrio, Louis Venaria, and now having you on here. So
Could always
you know,
depend on.
yeah, for a guy I've never met face to face, he's been a hell of a friend to me. I'll say that much. Yeah. So, all right, Bobby, I want to thank you for coming on. Thank you. Oh, you know what? Before you go, I don't want to miss anybody. People will be mad at me. You have a few minutes to take a couple of questions?
Yeah, no problem.
All
Of
right.
course.
Yeah, I try to always involve the audience.
Yeah.
Anybody have any questions for Bobby? We'll see what we get here. Sometimes the chat is just having a conversation all their own, and even I
Yeah.
don't know what's going on.
I got a couple of those on my phone that I have to put on silent.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, DJ Tech 12s wants to know what music do you like, Bobby?
Mostly hip hop.
Yeah,
I
me
like a
too.
little bit of everything though. Just if I like a song, no matter what it is, but mostly hip hop.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm the same way for the most part. I grew up on it. I DJ'd. I was always a hip hop DJ and
That's another thing I have my brother to thank for.
oh really? He got you into hip hop? That's good. I want to shout out because before I forget, when your brother was on, he forgot to mention his Instagram, and we both felt terrible about that. So everybody that's on here, Bobby's brother Patrick Borriello, please follow him on Instagram. Easy enough to find, just his name. Yeah, go to Instagram and follow Patrick. Thank you. So let's see what else we got here. If we have any other questions. Christopher, he actually answered that. That's his father on the pendant. Yeah, that's a good picture too.
Thank you.
Oh, somebody asked. Tony Duck says, "I don't know if you covered it or not, but was he on some episodes of Growing Up Gotti?"
Yep, but that's not as an actor. That was just me and my cousins. That's it.
Because you guys are, I mean, it's like your family, basically, right? I actually didn't know that. I didn't know you were on that.
Yeah, few episodes, not many.
Yeah. Lexi asked if you have any future projects in the works, but you pretty much already answered that.
Couple
You
of
will.
concrete.
uh, let's see. Yeah, everybody hit the like button, please. I'm trying to see if there's any more questions. Any more questions for Bobby? Drop them now, please. Oh, there's a good one. Christopher Drager wants to know, what do you think about the Sopranos movie?
Eh, um, I thought it could have been done differently. It wasn't a bad movie. I liked the movie, but for the Sopran, like for it to be like a Sopranos movie, I just thought they could have did that a little bit better.
Yeah, I think we all agree on that. It wasn't Sopranos enough. In other
Yeah.
words, like it wasn't, there wasn't enough story really about the Sopranos and Tony's character and
Mhm.
I don't know why they took the route they did with the storyline, but it confuses me.
Yeah, exactly. Why not more about Tony's family and like not obviously Tony's family, but Tony's father, Tony's crew. Some things contradicted the show. I just thought it could have been done a little bit differently.
Yeah, yeah. Like I said, you know, throughout the show, we heard that Dickie Moltisanti was basically Tony's mentor into the life. Like, he kind of brought him into the life and schooled him and played that role in his life. But in the movie, there was really nothing. They stole a pair of speakers, and
Yeah.
that was pretty much it. You know what I mean? So that confused me.
Not to mention Tony and Silvio and Pussy talk about being in high school together, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
And Paulie's supposed to be the only older one from the crew.
yep.
That I don't know. There's a lot of things I didn't understand.
Yeah, Silvio and Pussy. It looks like they got 20 years on Tony, and it's very strange.
Easy. Silvio's almost Silvio in the movie. Like you know. I don't know how
How
to say
funny is
that.
that?
He's already almost the guy from the show, and he's supposed to be a young kid.
How funny is that character, Silvio
Hilarious.
in Many Saints of Newark? Oh my
Hilarious.
god.
The
Yeah,
walk.
hilarious.
Perfect.
Yeah, he's like an impersonator basically. It was spot
Yeah,
on.
exactly. Like that. The route they took was not right. I didn't think.
Yeah, no, me neither. Um, let's see. Somebody just asked, "What's your favorite Italian food?"
My favorite Italian food: chicken franchise.
Oh, there you go.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I don't know if we have any other questions here. I don't see any. So you've been on for about almost an hour now. So I want to thank you for this, Bobby. This was good. I was looking forward to it, and
Thank you.
you
Thank
did
you for.
great. Yeah, absolutely. And if there is ever a day where you have something you want to promote, or if you do have an upcoming project at some point, I'd be glad to have you back on to talk about it.
Well, hopefully, I'll be back.
All right. Yeah, I'll let you go then. Thanks again, and hopefully we'll keep in touch, and I'll talk to you.
Yes, sir. Have a good night.
All right, you too. Have a good night. Bye, Bobby. All right, that was great. What did you guys think? Um, Thank you, BK Shallon Finest. Thank you, U.S. Army Combat Medic. Yeah, it was nice hearing from Bobby. Like I said, if he were to never act again, he's already been immortalized in so many legendary roles and had such a terrific career. Mob Talk Radio, strong work, Chris. Thank you. I appreciate that. That means a lot coming from you, Mob Talk Radio. Jen, outstanding FBS. Well, thank you. I'll tell you what, though, Bobby was a lot better than I was. I like to be, I like to have everything in exact order, but with his career, it was kind of hard because a lot of the movies took place within the same time frame, 98, 99. There were several things that were marked for 99. But like he said, sometimes it depends when it was filmed versus when it aired or was released. Thank you, Angel. I appreciate that. How did you get him on? Well, I had his brother on. Angel helped me to get Patrick. I had Patrick on a while back. He was a great interview. Like I said, probably the best uh, interview I've had. And then we were talking maybe I don't know, a week and a half ago or something through text, me and Patrick, and he said, "Hey, would you like to interview my brother?" I said, "Absolutely." So yeah, Patrick helped with that. Thank you, Chris Drager. I agree. Lexi Johnson, FPS, you got this interview thing down right these days. Great to be able to see you grow from day one till today, going nowhere but up. Thank you. I appreciate it. I hope so. Like every other interview I've ever done, I'll spend the rest of the night criticizing myself for every little thing I feel like I did wrong in this one. Because I'm neurotic, and that's what I do. But I hope Bobby enjoyed it. Because I like the interviews to be, as enjoyable to the guest as they are to me. And he did really good. He answered every question well. So another interview I'm very proud of. Let's see. We need a Furio interview. I actually didn't reach out to him yet, but I might. Yeah. No. Let's see. Yeah, well, what else is new? I'm not even going to talk about him. But yeah, of course. It's when he's at his happiest. Chris Traeger says BK didn't threaten anyone. Good show, LOL. That is funny. We'll see. I don't know if he would, but I might reach out to him. Thank you, Dr. Vinny Boombots. I'm gonna when I do my next show, I don't know when that'll be, but me and Gunsmoke got to straighten something out. I've come to the conclusion that me and Gunsmoke are related. We have to be. We figured out that as kids, we were practically twins. And, I saw a picture he posted of himself as a kid. And he was on the little motorcycle ride, right, at Cross Bay Amusement Park. And it was on his 7th birthday, which was 1992. And I'm thinking to myself, holy shit. I have a picture of myself on that ride on my 7th birthday, which was obviously, earlier than his. But we looked exactly alike in the picture. It was creepy to some extent. I had to call him and tell him to cut it out. Exactly. 2 Iranians, U.S. Army combat medic, looked like a couple of Iranians. I said, wow, this is unbelievable. He looks just like me. And, it's now, we were both from Queens. It's understandable. We both had our birthday parties at Cross Bay Amusement Park. I loved that place as a kid. But I was there, and that was every birthday party. My whole youth was at Cross Bay Amusement Park. And I looked through a photo album. I had to go get it for my mom. And I looked through a photo album of some of these pictures, and I was like, wow, the memories. Sitting on the little deck my dad built. We lived on 81st Street, and I had the Michael Jackson jacket and the one glove on. It was funny. It brought back a lot of memories. Yeah, everybody hit like, and if you haven't already subscribed, please do that and hit the notification bell if you are already subscribed. Let's see. Yeah, should I check ancestry.com? See if we're related? I wouldn't be surprised. Show us some pictures of little FBS. All right. All right, let's see. I'll do that. Let me see. Let me see. Let's see. Here's a funny one. All right, let me pull this up real quick. And I'll show you guys some pictures of a little FBS. If only I could remember how to do it. Give me a second, guys. All right, all right, all right. Now I'll pull this up real quick for you. This was from the photo album. I don't know how well you'll be able to see this. I might have to pull up. There's a good one too. Let me pull up one more real quick, and I'll show you guys. And then you could see Gunsmoke's when he comes on. Gunsmoke, you around? Let's see. Add overlay. This is a whole process, guys. All right, you ready? This is from the photo album. That right there on the motorcycle. That's a little FBS. This was at Cross Bay Amusement Park. And I'm sure that brings back memories for a lot of people. Angel, I'm sure you remember that. Let me see. Sure you remember that place? There's one. Here's another. I was a little karate guy. So that's a little FBS for you. See, Angel remembers it. Yeah, Cross Bay Amusement Park. I loved that place as a kid. Nice pics, FPS, dangerous ass carnival rides. Yeah, I know, right? Oh, but I loved it. We didn't care. We didn't know back then. No problem, sis. I'll show you guys more sometime. There's hair. Yeah, absolutely. Black belt FPS. Yeah. I was all into fighting when I was a kid. My godfather was Golden Gloves. He taught me how to box. And I did kickboxing as a teenager, but I did the karate as a little kid. Was Tommy Karate your sensei? Oof, madam. Let's see what else. Yeah, where is I just got a funny message. Gunsmoke isn't around, huh? He's unprepared as usual. Fucking guy. Disgraziad. Thank you, James. I appreciate that. I don't know where he is, man. I don't know, but I'll tell you what. When you see his pictures and you compare them to those, a little strange, a little too similar. I'm sorry, James. What's your question? I just pulled up one of your comments. I apologize. These comments go by fast. What's up with Kane Shades? Is he still around? He's still around. I don't know what's up with him. Gunsmoke is drinking cognac with me. Gunsmoke. FPS, would you ever interview Sammy? James. That's a no, I don't think so. No. First of all, I'm not delusional. Sammy doesn't know who I am, and even if he does, he's not worried about me. I have no desire to interview Sammy. I don't listen. Not a fan of Sammy, okay, to say the least. So no. But it's a good question though. Let's see. Could get Sammy if you wanted to. That's all right. I don't want to. But no, I probably couldn't. So, all right, guys. I guess that's it for now. I don't think I'll be doing anything else tonight, but you never know. Things can happen. YouTube is a busy place. Maybe I'll feel inspired all of a sudden. I don't know if Shauna's doing a show tonight and Gunsmoke is nowhere to be found. But I'm sure there'll be some stuff on MobTube for you guys to watch. If not, who knows? Maybe I'll pop back on. I don't know. Angel, yeah, I know, Angel. All right, guys. I love you all. Thank you for being here. Please hit the like button on the way out. Subscribe if you haven't already. And hit the notification bell so you know when my new shows are coming on. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time. Salute.